Good evening. I'm Congressman Dennis Kucinich. I want to thank U.S. Labor Against the War for its invitation to join you in Kurdistan for this important conference about the rights of workers in Iraq. As many of you know, I led the effort in the United States Congress in challenging the Bush administration's march to war against Iraq. I said back in 2002 that there was no proof that Iraq had anything to do with 9/11 or al-Qaeda's role in 9/11, and that Iraq had neither the intention nor the capability of attacking the United States of America. It is to my deep regret that perhaps as many as 1 million of your fellow countrymen and women have lost their lives due to the conflict that was initiated by my government. We need to find a way to repair the damage that was done. We need to take steps to repair the breach that was created, to help the Iraqi people regain their sovereignty, to enable the Iraqi people to fully function as a nation by helping rebuild the infrastructure, by paying reparations to families who lost loved ones, and by making sure that working men and women in Iraq have basic rights that are afforded them, that are to be afforded to working people all over the world through the International Labor Organization agreements. Workers everywhere and workers in Iraq should find support from the government for the right to organize, the right to collective bargaining, the right to strike, the right to decent wages and benefits. Workers everywhere and workers in Iraq should find support for these ideals and these necessary prerequisites of economic justice from the U.S. government itself, which is one of the reasons why I'm addressing you at this time. I think it is so important that we support labor's efforts to protect the sovereignty of Iraq by standing with you in opposition to privatization schemes. As many of you know, I was the first person, and often the only person, in the U.S. government who raised questions about the Bush administration's efforts to try to force the privatization of Iraq's oil resources. It is up to you, the people of Iraq, to decide how those resources should be spent. And it's not up to an occupying army, for any nation to use an occupying army as leverage to try to force the distribution of resources which first and foremost belong to the people of Iraq. It's so important that labor organizations in Iraq have an opportunity to thrive, because you represent the best hope of the people of Iraq to be able to come to a point of real economic justice and of real prosperity someday. You represent the best hope of the people of Iraq to make certain that the day-to-day concerns of working people are never going to be swept aside for political convenience. I'm so grateful for the support which U.S. Labor Against the War has given to help make this conference happen. But we know that we're at a time of a new beginning. And with that new beginning, we must see sovereignty fully returned to the people of Iraq, and not just through the process of elections, but by ending the occupation. The United States should end the occupation, close the bases, bring our troops home, and work with the international community to make sure that there is an international force of peacekeepers who would be at the ready to be able to tamp down any violence that might percolate as a result of the U.S. absence. We are at a moment in time where we have the opportunity to understand that the world is truly one, that it is interconnected and interdependent. We have much to learn from the great mistakes of the past, and I'm dedicated to the United States learning from those mistakes. But I'm also dedicated to seeing that social and economic justice be accorded to the people of Iraq who have suffered grievously not only from cruel leaders, but also from the United States policy. This is an opportunity where we can heal both countries, working together and working with organized labor in the United States, helping to organize labor more effectively and more fully in Iraq. Thank you for who you are. Thank you for your courage in defending the rights of the people of Iraq and the rights of working people everywhere. Thank you and good evening.